Hello everyone, Gecko here. I've got something amazing to show you today. Cranes! Whoa! They're brilliant at taking things way up high into the sky. If you've ever seen a tall building being built, then you might have seen a crane. They're not very good at hiding. They can almost reach the clouds. And they're able to lift heavy objects onto the tops of buildings. Cranes are so cool! This is a 250-ton mobile crane. It's massive! And do you see the long arm that's sticking up into the air? Well, that's called the boom. There's lots of different types of cranes, but let's see what makes this one special. Whoa! This yellow crane's got loads of wheels. Maybe as many as Larry the lorry. This means it can drive down the road to all sorts of construction sites. They're places where buildings are built. But I wonder, how does it go under bridges with that really tall boom on top? That's it, Blue. You fold it away. This is Ian, and he's the operator of this crane. The crane can move up and down, left and right, and it's all controlled from something called a cab. That's where Ian sits. He can use both of these joysticks to control the boom and the hook it has on the end. That looks like a fun job. Can you see what he's doing? By pulling the joystick in his left hand backwards, the boom is shrinking. Wowzers! The boom's made up of 7 separate pieces, which all fit neatly inside each other. A bit like a Russian doll. Look at that! The boom is all packed up. These are called the outriggers. Just like stabilizers on your bike, they stop the crane from falling over when the boom is up. To get the crane ready for driving, we need to fold the outriggers away. Ian uses this control panel to fold them up, making them disappear inside the side of the truck. Bye-bye, outriggers. The outriggers were sitting on special mats, which stop the super heavy crane from cracking the floor underneath. Ian neatly packs them away at the back of the truck. Wow, that's brilliant! Now Ian can jump in the front cab and press one final button to balance the truck, ready for driving. Can you see it wobble? Look, it's rising up. And now it's ready to drive. Off we go! Ian's had the call, and we're now on our way to a construction site to help the builders.
Lift it high, lift it high, say lift it high, lift it high, lift it high, lift it high, high, high in the sky, lift it high, high, high in the sky, lift it high, lift it high, lift it high. Down on the construction site they're building everywhere. But when the building gets too high, they all take extra care. Here to save the day is the massive yellow crane. It's time for the boom and hook to come and take the strain. Lift it high, lift it high, lift it high, high, high in the sky. Lift it high, high, high in the sky. Lift it high, lift it high, lift it high. Lift it high.
Thanks very much to Ian and all the team here at John Such Cranes. You can subscribe to my channel by tapping here. For now, it's cheerio from Gecko. Bye! Hello everyone! Gecko here! And I'm so bonkers excited! Why? Because today I'm learning all about fire trucks at this amazing fire station. How cool is that? Fire trucks are used all over the world to help firefighters put out fires and rescue people who are trapped in hard-to-reach places. We're going to meet 2 different fire trucks today, and we get to meet the brilliant crew members of Lim Fire Station. These amazing fire trucks and firefighters are experts at, you guessed it, putting out fires. They use these super long wiggly hoses, a bit like what we see in the garden, but super powerful. And look, they even have special masks that protect them from the heat. This is Jay, and he's the watch manager, which is what they call the leader of the team.
Firefighter Hill, door number 4. Also, I'd like to welcome Gecko, who's going to learn to be a firefighter for the day.
Thanks for having me, White Watch. Well, look who's here. Blue and Green Mechanical have come to learn about fire trucks too. Make sure you 2 stay out of trouble, please. This is Laura and Ellen. They're both firefighters in White Watch. What are you doing now, Laura?
Well, Gecko, we're getting ready for the starter shift. This involves getting all our kit out so that we're ready for any emergency that we might come across. So as you can see, Ellen's put her boots out ready. She's also got both the jackets, a helmet and her gloves, so she's ready for any emergency we might come across. Speed is always of the essence, so it's important that it's all laid out properly.
Everyone, meet Andy. He's the driver of the fire truck. He's making sure everything is okay for the next emergency call-out. But what is an emergency call-out? Well, that's when people ring up and tell the firefighters they need help. And remember, it's very important to check that the truck's lights are working properly. They need to flash really brightly when the truck leaves the station, to let people know help is coming. I love this fire truck. Do you know why? It's because there's so many secret places to store the amazing life-saving equipment. Look, Ellen and Laura are checking the hydraulic cutting equipment. These are like a big pair of scissors. But instead of cutting through paper, they cut through metal.
Now mechanicals, you're going to have to stop messing around. This isn't a place for messing about, guys. We don't want to end up rescuing you, do we?
Once Andy and the gang have checked that the truck is okay, Laura and Ellen need to make sure their breathing apparatus works safely. This is what they use when it gets really smoky inside a building that's on fire. It's very important that they can breathe clean air. Psst! Guess what, everybody? There's actually more than one fire truck in this fire station. This one here is called the ALP, which stands for Aerial Ladder Platform. Should we all say it together? Aerial Ladder Platform. Now the team use this ALP truck when they need to rescue people from places that are just way too high for the ladder. Wowzers! It sounds like someone's in trouble.
Come on, Gecko, get your gear on. We've got a job.
That's one of those emergency calls that we talked about a minute ago. Remember? All of the important stuff we need to know about the rescue comes through on this piece of paper.
Okay, all 3 appliances, mechanicals stuck at height, in limp.
Oh no! It sounds like the mechanicals are in trouble. We better go and rescue them. Now that we've got our kit on, it's time to move out. Oh dear, it looks like those silly mechanicals are stuck at the top of that tower and can't get down. We'll have to use the ladder to go all the way up there and get them. Look at this amazing teamwork. The crew all work together to get this ladder up as quickly and as safely as possible. Oh dear, it looks like the ladder isn't quite high enough to reach the mechanicals. Now, what can we use instead? That's right, bring in the help! To make sure the Alp doesn't wobble, Andy and James use these controls to move these things called jacks out of the side of the truck. They look like metal legs, and they stick out and lift the truck off the ground. Wow, that's really heavy, but these jacks are so strong, they stop the Alp from falling over. Whoa, look at that! It's got super strength, like super mechanical. Once the Alp is stable, which means it won't wobble, Andy jumps into the operating seat. That's the one that works the machinery. James is so brave. Look, he's going up in the cage to rescue the mechanicals. Now, because he's going up very high, he clips himself on using this harness, so he can't fall off. A harness is a bit like a belt you wear around your trousers. When you fasten it, your trousers don't fall down. Okay, here goes. Up, 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 up into the sky. James is now in control of the cage, and he can move up, down, left, and right with these joysticks. Almost there. Hold on, mechanicals. We're coming to save you. Gotcha. Phew. I'm glad those mechanicals are safe. Thanks, James and Andy.
Okay, mechanicals, I hope you learnt your lesson there. We shouldn't be climbing up towers and being silly, because we've got other people to rescue, okay?
I I've loved spending time with the firefighters and the amazing fire trucks today. Let's say a big thank you to all the crew here at Lymm Fire Station for teaching us all about their awesome trucks. Until next time everyone, it's cheerio from Gecko. Bye! Hello everyone, Gecko here. I'm back at the Hoylake Lifeboat Station with the RNLI to learn all about their amazing hovercraft. I can't wait to meet the crew and get stuck in. A hovercraft is an amphibious vehicle. Do you know what amphibious means? It means something that can go on land and in the water. This is Chris, and he's today's hovercraft commander.
Great to see you, Gecko. Come on into our lifeboat station.
It's amazing inside this lifeboat station. There's so many huge vehicles that are all designed to rescue people who are in trouble at sea.
Gecko, would you like to join us on a hovercraft training exercise?
Oh yes, please, Chris. To stay safe, warm and dry, the crew have to wear this safety gear. The helmet is actually called a Gecko helmet. Can you believe it? It's a real team effort to launch the hovercraft. Push team! The hovercraft is very heavy, so a big tractor is used to tow it safely down to the beach. Then, it's all hands on deck to unclip the hovercraft from the trailer and pump up the inflatable sponsons which help the hovercraft float on water. Then the pilot uses the engine to glide back onto the beach. Hooray! Wow, look at all of these levers and switches. It all looks very complicated. Nick is the pilot, and it's his job to fly the hovercraft. To start the engine, Nick turns this key. We can't see them, but underneath the hovercraft are two fans, which blow air downwards. This fills the skirt with air, making the hovercraft lift off the ground. Wowzers trousers! The big fans at the back are called the thrust propellers, and these push the hovercraft forwards. When Nick moves this lever, the rudders at the back move. It's these rudders that steer the hovercraft left and right. Nick makes the fans move faster and the hovercraft glides forwards. Woo, that is amazing! As commander of the hovercraft, it's Chris's job to check all around and give Nick instructions to help him fly the hovercraft safely. It's so fast and it's so noisy. Now I know why these Gecko helmets have microphones and headphones built into them. They allow us to talk and listen to each other. It feels like we're floating across the sand. And just like that, we're on the water. This hovercraft is amazing! It's now time for me to hop off and let the crew do their training exercise. The RNLI is a charity set up to save lives at sea. And these training exercises help the team here get ready for real-life search and rescue missions. So, to be as prepared as they possibly can be, the team practice, practice, practice. Today they're practicing how to rescue someone who is stuck in the mud. Playing in deep mud near the sea can be very dangerous, especially if the tide is coming in. Now that's what I call getting stuck in. Tides are the rise and fall of the levels of the sea. This is something that's happening all of the time, which means that if you're stuck in the mud on the beach, the tide might come in and surround you with water. It's very important to respect the water and make sure you check when the tide is coming in, to make sure you're safe when you're at the beach. Well done, team. Another successful training mission. Oh dear, it looks like the mechanicals haven't checked the tide times, and they're stranded on this island. It looks like there's a storm coming too. Luckily, the hovercraft is the perfect rescue vehicle. Jump aboard, mechanicals. Look how muddy the hovercraft is. All that whizzing about in the sand and sea is dirty work. Every time the hovercraft is called into action, the RNLI crew take great care to make sure it's cleaned up and ready to be used again. Here in the nice dry lifeboat station is the perfect place for the hovercraft to sleep for the night. Thank you very much to the fabulous crew from RNLI Hoylake for allowing me to spend the day with them and their amazing hovercraft. It's been absolutely brilliant. I'll see you again soon. Bye! Hello everyone, Gecko here. Guess what? I've got a fun day ahead for us. And it's all to do with trucks. Have you ever wondered how all those roads and pavements, and even the school playground gets made? Me too. After all, we stand on it, play games on it, and I've even scraped my knees on it. Ouch, did that hurt. But how does it all get there? Well, today we're going to find out a little bit more about that. And it all starts with trucks. So I'm here at the Tarmac Quarry to meet some of those very special trucks today. And not just any old truck, oh no! Tipping and non-tipping trucks. But what is a tipping and non-tipping truck anyway? Let's go and find out together why these trucks are so amazing at tipping and travelling and pushing and paving. Look! Here comes a tipping truck right now. Can you see it? Wowzers! Look how big it is up close. There are lots of different sized tipping and non-tipping trucks. Look, there's 3 different sizes here. And because of that, they all have different amounts of wheels. There's loads of wheels on this truck. How many wheels can you see? Now we're ready to go into the quarry and see these tipping trucks in action. But what is a quarry? Well, a quarry is like a really big hole in the ground. And in this quarry, they have lots of special materials that can be used to help make things. How cool is that? So here we are at the quarry, where a digger's waiting to drop stone into the back of it. Stone can be heated up and added to a glue-type material called bitumen to make asphalt. The digger scoops from this huge pile of stone and then pours it into the back of the truck where there's plenty of space. Once the truck is full, it's time to transport the stone to another part of the quarry. The stones can be used in concrete for buildings or as asphalt for roads. Now, here comes my favourite part. Tipping! Yay! Here we go! The truck reverses into position. Then the driver presses a button which makes the roof of the trailer open up. Now, the trailer slowly starts to tip upright. And wow! Look at that! It's made a huge mess on the ground. Hey gang, remember the 16-wheeler from before? Well, guess what? Even that tips. The tipper body is nearly 11 meters long. And look how high it goes. I bet that's taller than a giraffe. Now that the stone has been dropped off, a digger comes along to clean up and push the material into a nice, neat pile, out of the way of moving trucks. Bet Danny the digger would love to meet him. Now, here's a secret for you. See that truck there? Well, and this is just for us to know, that truck isn't a tipping truck at all. Honest, it's actually a non-tipping truck. Isn't that amazing? Now, I bet you're thinking, no, Gecko, those trucks look just the same. Well, here's why they aren't. See, instead of raising the tipper body into the air, this truck has a moving floor. I know, a moving floor. How fun is that? That then pushes the material out of the truck. Non-tipping trucks are used when there might be height limits in the area. Tipping and non-tipping trucks not only transport materials to different places of the quarry, but also onto roads and other sites. Before they do, the truck has to be weighed. Do you know why? I'll tell you. It's so that the truck is safe to drive on public roads, just like the roads your mum and dad drive you to school on. So, the truck parks up under these scales, and the driver presses this button to calculate how much material he's got in the back. Phew! It looks like we're a safe weight, and now we're ready to hit the roads. Come on everyone, let's follow him and see where he goes. These workmen are working through the night to pave new roads. And this non-tipping truck has come along to give them the materials they need. The truck backs up onto this paver and pushes asphalt into it, which is the crushed stone from earlier, all heated up. The paver then flattens this onto the ground, and a road roller comes along to smooth it into a road. Now I don't know about you, but I need to see all that again. So, the asphalt is transported to the paver. Whoa! The paver flattens and presses this onto the ground. Double whoa! The road roller smooths it out even further. And then look at that. Now we have a road. That's amazing. Wait a second. Is that? Yes, it's a tipping truck. It's here to help out. And there we have it. A nice new paved road. Well, I don't know about you, but I've had a great time at the tarmac quarry today. We got to learn all about tipping and non-tipping trucks, and even saw them paving roads. Now, when you play in the playground, you can tell everyone all about the trucks that help make the floor. I'm off now to tell my vehicle friends all about this. Until next time, everyone, it's cheerio from Gecko. Bye! Hello, everyone. Gecko here. Have you ever seen one of these before? It's a concrete mixer. These amazing construction trucks are used all over the world to help build roads, houses, and even schools. But how do they work? And why does this big drum have to spin around? Come on, let's find out. These big trucks are perfect for carrying and delivering a material called concrete. There's some wet concrete on the floor there. Watch out, Blue Mechanical! But what is concrete? Concrete is a mix of sand, water, and cement. Cement's a bit like glue. Something amazing happens when you mix these three things together. They become concrete. And when it's dry, it's as hard as rock. Blue, were you paying attention to what I was just saying? Concrete is rock solid when it sets. Oh dear, Blue. It looks like you're stuck fast. This is why concrete mixers are the only trucks that can carry concrete. To stop it from setting and turning rock hard, you have to keep mixing it. This is the drum, and it's where the concrete is stored. Connected to the drum is a gearbox and motor, which spins it this way and that way. Rollers on the other end of the drum keep everything turning nice and smoothly. This part here is called the hopper, and it's where the concrete gets poured into the drum. There's Danny. He's the driver of this truck. He's off to pick up a fresh batch from the concrete plant. He reverses carefully into the loading bay. To load up, Danny has to perfectly line up the hopper with the loading chute. Up in the plant control room, they can create just the right mix for Danny's batch. Then it's time to load up. Whilst he's waiting, Danny tops up the onboard water tank. It's very important to have plenty of water on board, because clever computers inside the mixer test the concrete. They can add more water if it starts to get a bit too dry. It's a bit like porridge. Too dry or too wet, and it's no good. Just like Goldilocks, we want it just right. We're fully loaded, so let's go! Mechanicals! That's a very dangerous place to stand. You should never stand that close to a big truck like this. And even with all his mirrors and cameras, Danny can't see you there if he's turning. It's much safer to stand further away from the mixer. The drum is turning, and we're heading to Danny's customer to drop this load off. At this huge factory, they make massive buildings out of concrete, so they need lots and lots of concrete mixers visiting all the time. Inside the drum, there's blades that mix the concrete as it turns. To empty the load, Danny makes the drum spin the opposite way, which pushes the concrete mix out. The concrete is emptied into this big container, which can be moved around the factory with huge cranes. They're using this mix to build a wall. The concrete is poured into this ready-made mould, which is just the right size for the wall. Just a few days later, and the concrete has properly set. Now it looks a lot more like a wall. The walls are then loaded onto this big lorry, ready to be delivered to the construction site and turned into a building. The last part of the process is for Danny to wash out the hopper, ready for the next batch. Thanks very much to Danny and all the team at Tarmac for teaching us all about these amazing concrete mixers. And thank you for watching. To watch more videos from me, just tap here. For now, it's cheerio from Gecko. Bye!